On Africa Freedom Day, a day meant for unity and celebration, Zambia was plunged into a national controversy. President Hichilema announced a significant act of presidential mercy. He pardoned a total of 1,125 inmates from correctional facilities across the country. This decision was presented as a gesture of compassion and an effort to decongest Zambia's overcrowded prisons. The announcement was made as part of the commemorations marking the liberation of the African continent from colonial rule. However, the goodwill surrounding this act quickly evaporated. News began to circulate that among those granted their freedom was a man convicted of a heinous crime, Clifford Dimba, a musician also known by his stage name General Kanine. His inclusion in the list of pardoned individuals was not immediately apparent to the public. The revelation transformed a moment of national pride into one of deep public anger and confusion. The legal foundation for President Hichilema's action is found in Article 97 of the Constitution of Zambia. This article grants the president the power to pardon or grant clemency to convicted individuals. Specifically, it allows the president, acting on the advice of the Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy, to substitute a less severe form of punishment for any punishment imposed on a person for an offense. For the family of the victim, the news of the pardon was a devastating blow. They had gone through the arduous and emotionally draining process of a police investigation and a court trial. The conviction and sentence brought a sense of closure and a belief that justice had been served. The pardon has ripped that feeling of security away, reopening old wounds and inflicting new pain. The reaction from civil society organizations was swift and unequivocal. Remy Kangwa, a prominent civil society activist, issued a powerful statement questioning the government's commitment to protecting children. He argued that the pardon sends a dangerous message to society. It suggests that powerful or well-connected individuals can evade justice, even for the most despicable crimes. Public reaction, amplified by social media and call-in radio programs, has been overwhelmingly negative. Ordinary Zambians have expressed their shock, anger, and disappointment. In markets, on buses, and in homes across Zambia, the pardon is the main topic of conversation. The story has touched a raw nerve because it involves the protection of children, a value that is held sacred in Zambian culture. Zambia's political opposition has seized upon the controversy, using it to criticize President Hichilema and his administration. Leaders from opposition parties have accused the president of a severe lapse in judgment and a disregard for the victims of crime. They have framed the pardon as an example of an executive branch that is out of touch with the values and concerns of ordinary Zambians. The media coverage has been intense and largely critical. Newspapers, television stations, and online news outlets have dedicated significant resources to covering the story from all angles. In response to the growing pressure, legal experts have begun to publicly discuss potential reforms to the pardon process, including making the criteria for pardon eligibility public and transparent. The pardon scandal has forced Zambia into a difficult but necessary national conversation about the delicate balance between mercy and justice. The current outcry demonstrates a widespread belief that in this case, the scale has been tipped too far in favor of mercy. This controversy is a critical test of public trust in President Hichilema's administration. The government came to power on a platform of change promising transparency, accountability, and a steadfast commitment to the rule of law. Rebuilding that trust will require more than just statements. It will necessitate concrete actions. The public is looking for clear and transparent reforms to the pardon process to ensure that such a decision is not repeated in the future. The answers to these fundamental questions will shape the future of Zambia's legal and political landscape. The outcry over one pardon has become a defining moment, forcing the nation to confront the true meaning of justice, accountability, and the solemn responsibility that comes with presidential power.